how impressive have you been with the last few days? You know, Xerxes, followed by landing Lenny Yoro, and now the Ugarte and Branthwaite deal seemingly in a really good position as well.
We announced 2 players in 4 days, and an hour after we announced one of them, which is yesterday, Lenny Euro, comes out news that we agreed personal terms with Ugarte. You know that famous Drogba meme where he was like, "I'm unfamiliar with my club." That's what I felt like yesterday. I'm unfamiliar with my club because United do not move like that. I'm familiar with the United that chases De Jong all summer. I'm familiar with the United that gets linked with Wesley Snyder and Gaetan. And what's the most modern one that we get? A Rabio. We get linked with them every summer. We just never signed them. That's what I'm used to. I'm used to United playing like the first 3 games of the season and then getting their final signing in the last day or two in the transfer window, like we've seen with Casemiro and Anthony and Varane, late signings. We never get ready. I'm hearing that Lenny Euro might play on the weekend. Tomorrow? That quick? I wasn't ready for it. I didn't even know we would have him 2 days ago. And now he might be playing against Rangers on the weekend. I'm hearing he might be in LA next week. If you're in LA, you might see me next week. I don't even know if I want to go now. I might be there. But listen, United are moving crazy, and I love it. I love to see it. You know, I'm so-called the negative fan, the guy who hates his club, never praises his club. Staffy, why do you never praise your club? I'm gonna praise my club today. I praised my club yesterday on my channel. I'm gonna praise it today. I actually went to bed excited. I was like, I can't wait to be on Straight Facts tomorrow because I want to talk about how good my club has been this summer, and we've been moving very well. You know, there's a lot of hate going on. Oh, you're overpaying. Oh, but the fees this much. Oh, Madrid didn't even want him. Oh, you put him on crazy wages. Listen, overall, we've made 2 good signings, 2 reasonable signings, players that we need, players that are young, players that are rated highly. Didn't take us long. We're actually multitasking sales with incomings. So we made a sale of Greenwood, of Donny van de Beek, Kamwala. We've done so much business, and it's only July 19th. This is not what United usually do. This is not how United operate. And as you said, we're actually still in for other players. While we're getting Lenny Euro done, we were still in for Braithwaite with Everton. Ugarte, as I said, right away agreed personal terms. So it means we were doing stuff while finalizing other deals. And who knows what's going to happen? Still Rabio in the summer they're talking about. I'm sure there's going to be more links that we're going to be working on, but we're doing very well, and I cannot complain. I'm not getting carried away in terms of I've seen some United fans do that, but you already know Twitter trolls are different. Oh, we're gonna win the league now. Oh, we're gonna compete for the league. I'm not talking about none of this bullshit. This has nothing to do with it. As in terms of laying the foundation in the team and around the team, we are doing well right now. That's what I wanted to see. Because regardless of winning or losing and Ten Hag staying or not in the next few years, I don't care about that. I like how we're building a decent foundation within the team for the next few years. So I'm very happy about it.
So you have faith in your faith in Ineos has risen, because obviously when we spoke, when the Ten Hag sort of was staying, when that was announced, you spoke about that affecting how you look at Ineos and Radcliffe and that regime, and you know you lost a bit of faith in them. Is this starting to restore your faith in the regime now?
I wouldn't say I lost faith, but we didn't start on good terms. I will say that. But I cannot judge anyone by the first impression. You know, like, yeah, like you still have to, I wouldn't say even like make up for it or rectify, because they still haven't, like, I can't judge them by they just walked in the door and that was the first decision they had to take. Like, I still like the idea that they were flirting with other managers. I just questioned why they kept this one. But I had to get over it anyways, because I knew he wasn't going to go anywhere within the next year or so. So, but everything following that, they're moving proper. And I'm not saying that they earned my trust in 6 months, because that's how long they've been here. Trust to me is always earned. But from what they've done so far, I'd be a hypocrite if I don't praise them, because I'm very critical. So if I don't come out and show the same energy in terms of praise when someone is doing well, but I only talk about when it's negative, then that's when people win and they're right. And they're like, you know what? He only wants to be negative. But I can't be negative when they're moving well. So yeah. This is happy stuff, not negative stuff.
Yeah, do you know what? I agree with so much of what you've said, and I think that not all there's still a few that are acting weird online. I agree. Anyone that's talking about winning the league and, oh my God, we're going to finish above this team, beat that side, shush. We're still at the beginning of this genuine rebuild. What you should be happy with or excited about is that so many of the decisions, so much of the negotiation, so much of the practice thus far has been different. Now, I've seen rivals, and look, rivals are on their knees for any kind of negativity they can throw at Man United. The newspaper find, we think you've overpaid for Lenny Euro, and we think you also overpaid for Mason Mount. So has anything actually changed at your club? And you're always going to find crossover, but of course things have changed. And there's a meme that was sent to me today that describes and demonstrates exactly how rivals are behaving towards Man United so far this summer. And this is the meme. Any negative news story about Man United, and rivals are on their knees for it. They are on their knees for any negativity surrounding Manchester United. And it's the truth. I have never seen most level-headed, normal Man United fans who share their face, share their name, who are who they say they are happy with what we're seeing, still want far more improvement, still want more consistency, still want more growth of this team. But we're keeping our feet on the ground because we haven't seen a ball kicked yet. I know there was a preseason game the other day, but there was 2 or 3 first-team players in the squad that day, 2 of which most likely are going to be sold this summer. So it wasn't the first team. So I had almost no care in the world about that in any way, shape, or form. And from my perspective, I'm really excited about what they can achieve, but they need to maintain these standards, maintain these levels, keep behaving in this way. You're not going to fix Man United in one summer. And I got sent a tweet from someone the other day that said, yesterday, that said, Terry, you guys have always bought quality. You just don't develop them. You've got to fix the culture first. It isn't just about buying players. And I expect that response from a non-United fan who isn't reading or listening to all the interviews and the articles and delving into the experience of the Dan Ashworths and the Baradas and co. That's exactly what they're here to fix. That's exactly what they're already doing. And they've spoken about that culture element. So I feel comfortable at this particular juncture that they're working on fixing that culture internally. And sometimes a way of fixing culture is actually to be more disciplined and to be harsher. You don't fix culture always by putting an arm around people and being a nice person. Sometimes you've got to get, and you'll both know this through your professional careers, sometimes you need to be a bit tough love. Then you need to be straight. You need to be the point. You need to, they made redundancies, and it's never nice to see people lose their jobs. But when you actually read into why, there was 250 odd people doing work at Man United. The club, it wasn't producing any money for the club. It was just burning money. The offices were untidy. The gyms were in an absolute mess. And these standards from the everyday working class staff right through to the first team were just an absolute eyesore to these owners. And they reviewed everything. And they even came to the conclusion that, managers make mistakes, but they are nowhere near the biggest problem at Man United, which to a lot of us, that was always our argument when it came to sacking the manager. It wasn't that we were for or against it. It was, we don't really see it fixing Manchester United in the medium to long term. So they've addressed a lot of things, but there's still so much more work to do. And I think that we do live in a very polarized world. As I say, that meme for me is bang on. Rivals are on their knees waiting to suck off any single newspaper they can for a negative story about us. But Rome wasn't built in a day. But that doesn't also mean you can't be happy with this, landing Lenny Euro over Real Madrid, straight away getting back onto the Ugarte deal, keeping our sort of irons in the fire when it comes to De Ligt and Branthwaite, looking at other attackers once these deals are done, also working on sales. We're actually spinning multiple plates. We seldom did that. The only time we would do that in the last 11 years was when it got to the last 2 days of the window and we were panicking and we might bring 2 or 3 names in. Falcao and Di Maria, Ahmad and Cavani after we fouled for 3 months to land Sancho. That's when we did multiple deals. Rarely did we get deals done early in the window. So, look, there's still a lot to improve on. But so far for me, really, really happy with the direction we're going in. And it is quite nice to sit online and watch. And it isn't all rivals. You're not one who's doing it, Lawless, as an example. But to watch a particular group of rivals absolutely lose their minds just because we've got a board of people now that are just working. By the way, we're not doing anything that's miraculous. We're not doing anything that's groundbreaking. We haven't discovered fire or invented the wheel. We're just behaving in the right way. So I'm very aware that we're not doing anything spectacular. But I think rivals are recognizing that we're not moving in the same way we have done for the last 11 years.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of obviously discourse coming from Liverpool fans because obviously, Euro's a player that they was in for, which I appreciate the tribalism in that, but yeah, I think that to lose to out on a player to your rival you've been much better at for the last few years, that's a tough pill to swallow. So I expect them to be a little bit.
No, they got
about
Kwanzaa apparently. That's why they didn't want it. They got Kwanzaa. Yeah, sure. Yeah,
it.
we believe that one. We believe that one. Who was Kwanzaa a year ago? Listen, they're just. I'll tell you why they're mad, bro. Because
what would you? What? Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, listen, the reason they're angry, bro, and I have no remorse for Liverpool fans. Everyone knows how much I hate Liverpool here. Whatever I hate the most, I hate Liverpool more than that. But they're used to losing to Real Madrid. And I'm not just talking on the pitch. They just lose everything to Real Madrid. They lost Bellingham to them. They lost Tchouaméni. The minute Madrid come in, they just leave the room. They're just mad that we didn't leave the room like they did. But you paid extra. So it's a shame that I was able to flex my money and get my signing. I'm hearing some weird comparisons. It's like a girl that chose to date you over me because you had more money. All right, so you're a broke boy. How's that my fault? If anything, that's more of a flex. I got more money than you, and I got the girl. Like, how is that something for me to be ashamed of?
Yeah,
and per my tweet, Terry, that you saw yesterday, I put examples of Real Madrid doing the same thing. And when Madrid do that to Barcelona, everyone's like, wow, look at Madrid, biggest club in Spain. They always dunk on Barcelona. And then when we do it, they're like, oh, yeah, but it's only because of the money. So how come you praise them when Madrid do it, but when we did the same thing, everyone wants to make fun of us? That's how they got Arda Güler. They went in and were like, no, here you go, an extra 10 mil, an extra 20% on the sell-on clause if we sell him one day, and we're taking him. And they took him from Barcelona. Why didn't they get the same treatment that we got for paying extra to get Euro? It's hypocritical.
And bro, you're absolutely spot on when you say that. The amount of teams that have landed players by bidding more than their rivals, offering more salary than their rivals, is the volume of examples you can find if you just spend 10 minutes on the internet is crazy. But it isn't just salty, right? I won't say it's all rival fans. I want to reiterate, a lot of rival fans have actually been complimentary of Man United. The salty ones haven't been, but it's the media for me. They're acting like Man United have done something weird. The same media, by the way, that praises all the loopholes that Chelsea find. Man United just go, do you know what? We're going to offer by the way, Lenny Yoro's market value across 3 independent valuers, one's a website, the other 2 are two of the big 4 accountancy firms, is valued between 50 to 60 million euros. So Man United have paid 52 million euros as a base, which means we're within the ballpark of his valuation. So when I see people say you're paying 3 times over his valuation, no, we're not. We're paying 3 times more than what Real Madrid were willing to pay, but we're not paying over his valuation. If my house is up for sale for £500,000 and some bloke down the road bids 150,000 and another person bids 510,000, that person, you could argue, has spent £10,000 over the value, not 300,000 over the valuation based on somebody else's bid that failed. It's the first time I've ever seen football, transfers discussed in this way. And we do it to Man United a lot. Very rarely do you see Man United's transfer spoken about in terms of amortization. And, whoa, look at this deal, actually. It's 52 million up front, 6-year deal. It's only cost Man United £8 million this year. They did that for Liverpool when they signed Thiago for 20-odd million. They went, it's only cost 4 million year one because they've amortized it. All deals are amortized that are over like 10, 15 million pounds. So the way it's been portrayed by the media is a disgrace. Again, they always try and make it sound like we're doing something weird and strange. We've landed one of the best young talents in world football in terms of centre backs. There's a lot of work to do with him. There's a lot of development that's needed, but there's a lot of saltiness.